quick, drop a like in this video in the next 5 seconds to claim the gold V-Buck coin equivalent to 10,000 normal V-Bucks. So as you can imagine, yesterday when the update went live, everybody was expecting, considering helicopters had been updated in the game's files to have additional stats from what we'd already been presented or teased toward in the trailer, people imagined upon the downtime lifting we'd be getting them, and then to our surprise, well, non-surprise, we got baited. We only had proximity mines. Now, despite this being the case, even so, with everything introduced to the files, obviously new that you guys need to know about the helicopters and how they'll work as a vehicle or transportation method in Fortnite. As you can see by the title, helicopters are here in one form, and I'm going to be showing you guys how you can actually drive them. The best thing about this is it's 100% safe, you won't get banned, and obviously this is going to be something that you can use early before anybody else, as this is going to affect gameplay performance in Fortnite Battle Royale drastically, not just in terms of transportation methods and maneuvering around the map in a more efficient or fast or safe way from the storm perhaps running, but also in terms of gameplay performance, whether it's actually eliminating your opponents or at the very least outsmarting them. And oh yeah, the most important thing we're going to be mentioning when these are going to be officially updated into the game, as we have a good indication of when the next update for Fortnite Battle Royale Chapter 2 Season 2 will be. So make sure you're sticking around and watching the full thing today, because I guarantee you guys you won't regret it, and if you do, you'll have that much more edge over your opponents or any other players in the lobby, considering you've learned about the helicopters before they've been introduced. Before we go any further, however, I have to ask you guys very quickly just one important question. Do you want a free Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be gifting hundreds of subscribers literally over the next coming weeks, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment your Epic Games ID down below, so that way I can gift you the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass, and if you subscribe right now, you potentially could be our 1.4 millionth subscriber. Also, don't forget to use code FriendlyMachine in the item shop when picking up the Battle Pass if you happen to buy it or be gifted it or gift someone else it, and let me know in the comments if you have done this so I can heart it to show my appreciation. Alright, so with that out of the way now, I'm sure you're all aware already of the fact, considering I've already shown this, that the Chapter 2 Season 2 trailer wasn't just showing everything that was going to be updated into the game upon this season launching, rather so foreshadowing the future throughout this season itself. A prime example of which has been looping on screen, the arrival of a helicopter transportation method seeming to land at one of our helipads at the agency. A new transportation method, despite just the launch pads and boats, has been something that's been really wanted or demanded by the community ever since, well, the black hole expanded, transversing us then into this alternate universe or dimension of Fortnite, literally at the end of last year, or should I say in October. With helicopters being at the agency because it correlated to the trailer, this may have just been a coincidence, obviously a one-off, or maybe perhaps something that's going to be involved in an in-game live event. Hopefully anyways, we're going to be seeing a return of those, considering we never saw one to do with the storyline in Chapter 2 Season 1. It's no coincidence that helicopters are going to be a forefront factor or transportation method, most notably this season than any other, as they're going to be introduced, with there being helipads scattered around all of our new locations updated in Chapter 2 Season 2 as a part of this secret agent or agency theme. This puts this coincidence or theory to bed in itself, and obviously, as previously mentioned, we're about to mention everything we know so far about the helicopters and how we'll be able to use them or what stats they'll have when they're updated into Fortnite. Also, another example of where Epic Games have teased this transportation method upcoming as something we can use in game is in this official Fortnite picture at the grotto. Now with that said, here are all the updated stats or coding in the game's files regarding the helicopters and basically everything to do with them in terms of them being used in Fortnite. So the spawn rate currently is 0%, hence why, well, we can't see them, and there's only been proximity mines available to obtain in this update or actually find in our Battle Royale map. Damage to players is 50, build damage is 150, obviously meaning that we can go into a structure and it will deal 150 damage to that. Explosive damage to players 70, explosion damage to builds 450, damage from when hits a player, minimum speed obviously being 20, so that means moving at all, it will literally do 20 damage every time it touches somebody in the first place. And finally, damage when touched, I'm guessing it means by the propeller on top, is 100. So with the developments being made to this coding telling us a lot about, well, the actual helicopters in themselves and how they'll work, despite the fact this confirming they'll be upcoming soon as they're almost ready, we have learnt a lot about what the helicopters coming into Fortnite will entail. Obviously it won't just be a transportation method because, as you can see, explosion damage to players and also structures is something that's noted of or has a certain numerical number for in the coding itself. And this means, well, we're going to be able to shoot rockets out of the helicopters, perhaps when driving as a pilot, and also maybe, as the days pass now, the files may be further updated to show us, well, that we can actually sit as a passenger and shoot out of one of the windows or doors with a built-in gun like a minigun perhaps that we've seen in a lot of other video games or films. In terms of how strong or sustainable these helicopters are to actually destroy when flying around our sky or simply landing or stationary before somebody hops in one, they have a health point system of 1500. Hypex has also stated they can boost just like the boats, obviously when we're navigating around the waters or even land, as it seems as people have got desperate due to the amount, or should I say the little amount of transportation methods currently in Fortnite, and also he states they can damage players when hit, but we already know that from the previous coding. In terms of where you'll be able to find these helicopters, here are all the points on screen, and obviously the lines only show how we can get to each individual agency point or helipad in the fastest possible manner. So where the line changes direction is obviously a location then for where a helipad currently is. As of right now though, with the low spawn rate, or no spawn rate should I say, it's going to be impossible for you guys to use them physically in-game in order to propel yourself perhaps to that victory royale that much quicker, or to even get used to them, but don't worry because we're about to go over how you guys can fly one very early on, or before at least they're updated into the game for everybody to publicly use. And trust me, this is going to come around quicker, this update, than you may think, and we can tell this based off the timer countdown for when we can actually go to these agents and select another, or another becomes available, as yesterday, March 3rd, 2020, we received the 12.10 update, and obviously then 24 hours after this happens, we're going to be seeing, as you can see right now, it's less than 24 hours until the TNT skin is available to select or proceed with in this particular section. My best guess as to when the helicopters will be updated, as it will require downtime due to it being a big update, will be when Meowsicles, or just before, perhaps 24 hours, obviously prior to selecting him. This will then be the case of the update going live for everybody to hop on and play, again following this trait based off what we've seen with TNT being available to select in the 21-hour countdown at the time of me recording this video that currently needs to pass. Now before we hop into this method of how you guys can use these early in-game, or perhaps get a feel for them, or how they'll drive or look when actually using them in the third-person mode that Fortnite is well played in, let me know in the comment section what your favourite wrap is currently on vehicles and how you think this will look on helicopters. And yes, we know this is confirmed as we see literally a gold helicopter landing, obviously belonging to Midas in the Chapter 2 Season 2 trailer, and this again confirms the release of the Oro skin set, as we will have this gold wrap as a part of this set or attached to this character's outfit to fully complete it. Personally, I'd like to see something crazy like the scanline wrap, obviously because it will fit in with the colour of the sky perhaps if it's clear anyways, and the storm hasn't obviously closed in, so this will then make you seem that much more invisible or hard to spot to then shoot down by other players. And with everything mentioned so far, I'm guessing not only the helicopters will have their own Fortnite shorts film, as typically things like this do when they're updated into the game, that will actually change it quite a lot in terms of gameplay performance, but also all the features will be shown off like the wrap customization and ultimately everything we can do with the helicopters. With that said, you guys have waited patiently and long enough to see how you can use this early, and if you made it up until this point, feel free to comment down below #helicopter, and I'll try and heart all the comments who made it up until this point in the video so I know you did. We're going to be going over finally how you can use them early, and obviously then get a good feel for how you can maneuver them in the most efficient or best possible way in game. So the first thing you'll want to do is hop into a creative match, go to your own island or create a new one perhaps, that I definitely recommend doing, and then select this option as you can see right here to actually spawn in a ton of things alongside a helicopter itself. Now as you can see, if we actually duplicate this or copy it and paste it, we can then, if we select the prop gun as something to use in our inventory actually become one of these helicopters, and I'm guessing this is the view we're going to be getting, or how it will look in-game upon driving them due to the third-person mode of Fortnite, obviously then not being able to see our character as he's sat in the driver or pilot seat. Sadly, as of now, we cannot use any of the other features added into the coding or the files from doing this, but how easy was that to actually, become a helicopter, if not see how it will look when driving one upon entering one when they're finally updated into the game. And if this is the first video you've seen this on, slap a like in it down below, and also make sure before you leave to subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you never miss any future updates regarding not only the helicopters being updated into the game or some of the files / coding being additionally added to, but everything to do with news in the world of Fortnite. Hopefully I can also recognise you guys from remaining active in the comment section of my future videos to come, and I'm out. Have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are whenever you're watching. Have a good one, take it easy, and as always, peace.